Well, I wonder if you can guess what I might be talking about today. It's been a while since we talked about my penis, isn't it? Hey folks, it's Finn. Welcome back, lovely people. Thank you so much for tuning into another one of my videos, and if you are watching for the very first time, then thank you so much for choosing one of my videos. The thing with my videos is you never know what you're going to be clicking on. Word of warning today, this video is going to be very open and honest about some very sensitive topics, that being my genitalia. I'm going to be talking today about phalloplasty, that's lower surgery for trans masculine people. So if you do not want to hear about my genitalia and its adventures, then do feel free to navigate away. I am not holding you hostage, so please don't feel obligated to have to listen. If you're staying, welcome. It has been a while since I've done a trans update, and it's overdue. And it's also Transgender Awareness Week, leading to Transgender Day of Remembrance, and it's a week where we share loads of information around transgender lives, transgender surgeries, transgender positivity, just lots of positivity, trans news, trans truths. That's the main thing, because let's face it, a lot of the trans stuff we hear doesn't come from trans people. And I say this time and time again. If you want to know about trans people, about gender transition, about what it is to be trans, for goodness sake, go and find out from trans people. Because there are so many people out there who want to twist the truth about what it is to be trans. So I guess today's video is for two reasons. It's a big celebratory video for me today. Actually, it's three reasons. It's a big celebratory video. It's a marking of Trans Awareness Week and sharing some trans positivity, some trans joy. And it's a third thing that I've forgotten because I have ME/CFS and my brain comes up with wonderful things that I want to tell you. And before I've got to the end of the sentence, it's gone poof. So whatever the third thing was, I might remember in a minute. I want to tell you some trans joy. I want to share a milestone and share some trans information. Oh yeah, and just generally catch you up about my lower surgery, because that's tied in with a milestone. It is now, well, it was in August, because I'm late, as per usual. Blame Fred, ME/CFS. ME/CFS, Fred, that's what I call it. In August, I've written it down, that's why I'm looking down. On the 8th of August, 2018, well, on the 8th of August 2018, I had my final stage of my lower surgery, phalloplasty, which was the fitting of the erectile device. Boing. So that I could, sorry about that, so I could have an erection. Hence this wonderful t-shirt. I have created this t-shirt to celebrate being pump action, to celebrate being 5 years post-op from having the erectile device successfully fitted. I have created this wonderful t-shirt celebrating being a proud pump action transgender man. It is available to buy, should you want one yourself, in my Teespring store. Should you have a friend who's just celebrated their stage 3 or is about to have their stage 3, perhaps you want to buy one for them too, if you'd also like to sport a pump action t-shirt. So yes, here we go. I'll put a link above and below if you also want one of these t-shirts. I'm just happy to be pump action and proud. So yes, chill out, Finn. Okay, I'm just very excited to be pump action, as you can see. So I had phalloplasty, which is one type of lower surgery for trans masculine people. I had this in the UK under the care of St Peter's Andrology in London, and it's done under 3 stages usually, unless you have complications, which I did. It's not uncommon to have complications, because it's a very complicated, huge surgery. So my final stage actually went wrong the first time. I shared lots about this. I share very honestly about this. I mean, the thing is about sharing the milestone and sharing the joy is I also share very honestly about the difficult things as well. In none of my videos will you ever find me saying, I've had lower surgery, it was wonderful, it was easy. Because my goodness, it isn't. No surgery is ever going to be easy, pain-free, and they're rarely complication-free. Even mild complications, most surgery will have some kind of minor complication, you know, and a surgery like this that involves a graft to create a penis, nerve rehookup, the complications of creating a new urethra and an erectile device and mechanical parts, it's really complicated, you know. So I went into it expecting to have complications, and there were, and they were horrific to deal with. Of course they were, but I came through the other side, you know. And so today I want to kind of talk about where I am now at 5 years after finishing lower surgery. But there's two elements to this, because there's obviously finishing lower surgery completely, which the final stage was completing that, but also 5 years post having the final stage. So because I have a tendency to talk for a long time in my videos, you know me, I want to try and split this into 2 videos. So the first video I want to talk today about being 5 years post having the erectile device fitted, and just kind of talk about where I'm at 5 years. Because with these erectile devices, one of the problems that comes with them is they obviously do over time have wear and tear and breakdown, and they don't have a huge lifespan on them. It's getting better. The better materials over time last longer. I was told my device would last anything from 5 to 15 years. Great lifespan there. So to report on that, I can definitely say I can see some wear and tear on mine at 5 years post-op. I don't get as rigid as I once did, not noticeably, not enough to affect the function of self-pleasure or intercourse, but enough to notice. I also noticed that where the cylinder that goes through my penis to cause the erection is slightly twisted, so I have, again, not noticeably, but I can see a slight kink in my penis now. It's not as straight as it was, and it's more feel than look. You can feel that that's slightly twisted inside a bit. And I'm also having issues with the pump action. So when I pump the device, because the way the erectile device works is that when you pump the pump inside my testicle, you pump it and that's what causes the erection, and then there's a button to press to deflate it. Often when I go to press the pump to inflate it, it won't work. It's just completely stuck. Now, the first time this happened, I panicked and thought that was it. It's broken, it's done. I'm going to have to go in and have it fixed. But then later on, I was doing some searching of the internet and looking at other models and looking at whether there was a way to reset it. And what I did was I just pressed hard on the button and just held that for 10 seconds, let go, and then swiftly pressed on the bulb, and it clicked and then pumped. And that's what I do now. When it gets stuck like that, I just hold down the button, the deflate button, and I count to 10 slowly, Mississippi wise, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then let go, and then just literally not a slow squeeze on the inflate button, on the inflate bulb, but a real, I hold it and then quickly like pinch it and you can hear it click. And if that doesn't work, then I get all the tubing and make sure that's all been smoothed out, and that works as well. So there is definitely some wear and tear happening on there. So I'm definitely seeing that. But otherwise, it is functioning as it should, and I'm not concerned yet. In terms of how I've settled into it, now I don't even think about the mechanical parts and the fact that it's a mechanical erectile device. It doesn't even enter into my thoughts. I remember in the beginning, it was very odd because there is like a pump lump under my pubic bone, and that was kind of a bit odd. And just I could kind of feel parts of the erectile device where it's anchored to my pubic bone, but now that doesn't even bother me. You know, just using the device now, you know, it's just become part of me, and it really doesn't bother me. You know, if I'm going to look at kind of, I mean, I'm not talking about nice people, other trans people or allies, but when, you know, there are negative comments about my penis, it's usually kind of, you know, well, it's not real. You know, who would want to sleep with you when you've got a mechanical penis? Let's not forget that it's not just trans people that have this. Lots of cisgendered people will also have this device if they've had a penis injury, if they have erectile dysfunction. This has been around for a long, long time. You know, it's not just trans masculine people that have this, you know. So that's also really important to remember. You know, this kind of surgery is open to lots of people. I get messages, not just from trans people, but from cis people as well, who've had phalloplasty, other kinds of penis surgery, urology, erectile devices fitted, who watch my videos and come for information because they've had this surgery too, you know. And that's really comforting to me to remember that we're not just talking about trans people when it comes to this kind of surgery. So people say, you know, no one will sleep with you because you've got a mechanical penis. Get a life. There are so many people out there, not just trans, who have these devices fitted as well. It doesn't make my penis unreal to have this fitted, and it doesn't make my intimacy, my sex life, my enjoyment, my orgasm any less real and any less enjoyable. And talking about sensation and enjoyment, that was Pip snoring behind me. That wasn't me farting, honestly. My sensation has increased again. My sensation has constantly been increasing over time. It's never stopped increasing and changing. And I think a lot of that, as I've mentioned before, is a lot of brain rewiring again, I think. But I think what's definitely increased my sensation post the erectile device is because I've now got something inside my penis. I never hold back from explaining these things. It's the friction, isn't it? Because I've got the inflated tubes inside, anything moving over them rubs on it. So I've also got the friction inside my penis now, as well as on the outside. And I think that's what's helped to increase sensation again, and has changed the way that I experience both tactile and erotic sensation when I'm erect, but also when I'm not erect, because that's the difference with trans people, with trans men who've had phalloplasty. I obviously don't need an erection to orgasm, because I can play with myself, and so can somebody else play with me when I'm flaccid and orgasm. Because, well, I don't have to explain it to you, you can work that out. But even with not having an erection, I've still got something in there. With my type of implant, I've got the AMS 700. I'll put a picture up of it here. The tube inside is a little bit more soft and flexible than some of the other ones. I'll find another picture so I can show you a comparison of the two types of tube that go inside, and you'll see what I mean. So one you can feel more when you're flaccid than the other. Mine you can't feel as much when you're flaccid, but it still fills my penis more than it did before I had the erectile device. So I think that's why my sensations increased, because I'm getting sensations from within my penis that I wouldn't have got before. Does that make sense? Because of course, where all the nerves are hooked up, anything touching those nerves now are going to start sensation, because once those nerves are stimulated, they're going to start making pathways. And then once they've made pathways, anything touching them is going to give me sensation. So I think that's what's going on. So yeah, those are the main changes. I'd say that, you know, I am noticing wear and tear, but it's not affecting the function or the enjoyment or anything else. And I'm having increased sensation again. And what was the other one that I was saying a minute ago? Oh, and that I'm just more comfortable in using it and it just being part of me, really. And, you know, it's at 5 years post-op, I'm just, you know, I've just settled into it, and all the worries have gone, because it just took a while to get used to, really. I think going forward now, I think my biggest fear is if it does break, what I would do. Now, I have ME/CFS and I go between moderate to severe level, and I'm not sure I would manage another surgery. So I don't know what I would do. And I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it, but I don't think I would go in for a fix. So that concerns me going forward. I mean, I'm 50 next year as well. So it's tough. It's a tough one to work out. I'm with a long-term partner. We could probably work our way around not having an erection. So I don't know. But it's never easy when it comes to working out what we need to do for ourselves and balance out the risks and the losses and the gains and all of that. And I'll have to do that again if and when it comes to this device breaking. I'll have to sit down and work out exactly what the surgery will entail and whether I can manage it and all of those things. So we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. So watch this space. Now, if you would like to see the erectile device in action, you see the inflation, the deflation of the device, I do have an educational video available on my Ko-fi store, in my Ko-fi shop, and I'm going to put a discount code for you here and in the description below as well, and that will be live until the end of the month as a celebration thank you code. And there is also, if you buy my memoir in my Ko-fi shop as well, there is a bundle available now. I've made available. I just thought I'd create lots of things as a celebration, because 5 years is a big milestone, isn't it? So I thought I'd create lots of discounty celebratory things who, you know, who would celebrate with me. I don't know. So yeah, that's available too. So that's it from me, but I'm going to create another video now talking about being 5 years post everything. Yeah, and just talk a bit more in detail about what that means dysphoria wise, how it feels to be 5 years post everything, blah blah blah. Yeah, so stay tuned for that next video. Thanks for watching, take care of yourselves everybody, and see you for that next video. Bye bye. So talking